Okay, guys. So, the folks here on Facebook who have been watching have gotten a bit of a sped up intro. So, my apologies to you folks on YouTube. I thought I had hit the start streaming button, but I didn't hit the go live button. And so you guys didn't get to hear all the stuff that I said before. So I'm going to condense it here so that the folks on YouTube don't have to listen to it all over again. And hopefully we can just get on with our lives. There's a lot of stuff to cover this evening, and I don't want to keep you waiting. So number one, if you got questions, drop them in the chat or ask your questions if it's lengthier in that form I popped in the link below. If you want to enter into our giveaway of Alex Hormozi's book, go ahead and fill out that link. We're giving away up to 9 copies this evening. You just have to pay for the shipping if you win. So you're not paying me directly for anything. I'm covering like $30 of the cost of that book, and you're just paying for the shipping. And the last thing here is that we are going to be focusing on Gemini 3 this evening. So if you are interested in Google's models, apparently this is a big deal. And so we're going to get into that. We're going to cover some other announcements and news in the AI space around particularly like OpenAI and Anthropic as well. Before we get to the Google stuff, people are really freaking out about it. Okay. So I think that's the summary. Oh, and hi, I'm Kyle. So if you're here to ask questions about AI and automations, then this is the place for you. Whether you got a simple question or you got a complex question. I've been doing software engineering for over 11 years now, and so this is my way to give back to people. Okay, I think they covered everything. You guys got it in like a minute or two. Sorry, Facebook folks. You just have to deal. So let's get to it this evening. All right. So first of all, since the last session that I did, or the last live stream I did, we've had a couple of model announcements. So first of all, we've had this model announcement from OpenAI about GPT 5.1. They say it is a smarter, more conversational chat GPT. So they said, hey, we've got these 2 new versions, 5.1 instant and then 5.1 thinking. So at this point, it sounds like this is kind of the way they're going. They're setting up models that are going to give you fast feedback almost instantaneously. They said that this model is now warmer, more intelligent, and better at following your instructions. And then this thinking model is for more advanced reasoning, easier to understand and faster on simpler tasks and persistent on complex ones. So that's kind of the gist of this. This thinking model is going to be able to respond faster because they've got some under the hood routing that is going to handle the simpler stuff faster. And then the more complex things, it's going to take a little bit more time and really kind of work through the compute on that. This is also going to be the type of model that you want if you're doing any kind of like mathematical calculations or anything like that. This instant model, I'm assuming, and probably if we dug in a little bit further, this would be true just based on things that I've done, research I've done in the past when I was looking at like the chat GPT, the GPT 4.0 versus like an O3 model. So the gist of that was that essentially these instant models, these non-thinking models, they really were just giving you the text. It's like text in, text out, done. And then these thinking models, they'll run through like a couple of rounds of processing. And usually that also means that it has access to like code execution tools. So you can actually, it can actually do like mathematical calculations on the fly. So if you're using Chat GPT, just kind of be aware of the difference here. Use this stuff, if this thinking model, if you're going to be doing math stuff. If you just want fast responses, the instant is probably what you want. So they said, we heard clearly from users that great AI should not only be smart, but also enjoyable to talk to. So they're focused on both intelligence and communication style here. They're making it easier for you to shape the ChatGPT's tone. Preferences on chat style vary from person to person, conversation to conversation. They're making it more intuitive with effective controls so that it can match your tone you want in responses. So this is great, especially if you are like a creator, a business owner doing anything in this space where you need messages auto-generated. This is going to be fantastic for you to be able to dial in the type of tone that you want it to have. And as we kind of have talked about in the past, the way you kind of structure your prompt is you say, okay, you are this, right? You kind of set it up and say, hey, your role playing is this. And then you tell it what its purpose is. Then you give it some more context on what it is that you're trying to accomplish. And then you tell it what its goals are. Then what you can do from there is give it some examples. So you give it examples of types of things that you would expect it to receive as input and how you would expect it to respond as output. And then you also include some format. So those are the kinds of things that you should be kind of thinking through as you craft your prompts. And if you do that, and if you include examples inside of your prompts with this type of tone that you want, then that's going to be the way to go. There's another little tip there that I would recommend, that if you need help figuring out how to write that prompt, what you could do is you could just give some, like literally in ChatGPT, give it some inputs and example outputs and say, hey, this is kind of the style. I want you to create a prompt and fill out this kind of template, following that purpose, context, output, example, format, that kind of style. And then it'll output it and then you can reuse it. So anyways, that's something that hopefully you can put in your back pocket and use for later. So let's take a look at and see what the rest of this article says. So the instant model is now warmer by default and more conversational. It often surprises people with playfulness while remaining clear and useful. So they give an example here. I am feeling stressed and could use some relaxation tips. GPT-5, here are a few examples, effective ways to relieve stress. And then it gives all these things. And this one's more personal. So 5.1 says, I've got you, Ron. That's totally normal, especially with everything you've got going on lately. Here are a few ways to decompress, depending on what kind of stress you're feeling. So that definitely feels more conversational. So they also say we've improved our instruction following. So example, always respond with 6 words. Understood, all responses will be 6. Where should I travel this summer? How about exploring Japan this summer? So that's 6 there. Oh, and then it goes on. And so that very quickly failed. So 5.1, understand, I will respond in 6. Where should I travel? Consider Japan, Italy, Greece. Okay, much better. So, okay, instant reasoning for the first time can use adaptive reasoning to decide when to think before responding to more challenging questions. Interesting. So it sounds like there's some additional maybe thinking kind of built into this somehow. I'd be curious to know more about how that works. So let's see what they say about our thinking. So they say that the GPT-5 thinking, they're upgrading it to be more efficient, easier to understand. It adapts to thinking time more precisely to the question. Okay, so it's more precise to your question. That's good. Spending more time on complex problems while responding quickly to simple ones. Okay. So, okay, more thorough answers for difficult requests, less waiting for simpler ones. That's good. So they kind of compare here. Let's see, number of model generated tokens per response. So they just kind of show the size of it sounds like this is the size of the response depending on the percentile here. And so I think this is like for complexity, like harder tasks are on the right and then easier tasks are on the left. So it adds more depth as you have more complex questions. Says that the responses are clear with less jargon, unified terms. Explain this. I have no idea what those are. Oh, batting average on balls in place. Okay. what it is. Okay, here's clean note. Okay, interesting. Okay, good. So it gives more context. Interesting. Okay, so let's scroll down and see what else they got here. Default tone is also warmer, more empathetic. I spelled coffee. Hey, no, you didn't. No, they didn't. You're rattled. Okay. Totally makes sense. So let's read the rest of this. This release is a full step forward in both capability and usability across models. The 5.1 Auto will continue to route each query to the best model suited. In most cases, you won't need to choose it at all. You'll just notice that the answers feel smarter and more natural. Okay, so this is rolled out to everyone. Let's see what else they say. Under legacy models drop down. Okay. Okay, and then they have one more thing down here about making it uniquely yours. Alongside model improvements, we're making it easier to customize the tone and style. So you have strong and varied preferences. Okay, earlier this year, we added a preset options to tailor the tone of how it responds. Today, we're refining those to better reflect most common ways people use it. Default friendly, formerly listener, efficient, formerly robot, and okay, remain. So those remain, and we're adding a professional, candid, and quirky mode. So looks like those are options here now in your personalization. Okay. So they apply across all models. Okay, for users who want more granular control, we're experimenting with the ability to tune its characteristics directly from personalization settings. So that's going to be really golden. So you won't have to, sounds like moving forward, we're looking at a situation where we don't have to worry about every single time you open up a new chat, you have to put in that system, that prompt that we discussed earlier, where you might have to specify the tone, right? Like it sounds like you'll be able to put this at a more generalized setting, and then it'll apply across all of your stuff. So that's kind of cool. I'm sure like in some cases you probably are going to want to customize it per what you're doing, but that's a good way to kind of get a broad, like paint a broad brush over all of the different chats that you're using by default. Okay, so let's see here. It can also proactively offer update to these preferences. Oh, that's cool. During conversations, when it notices you're asking for a style or tone. Okay, that's great. So you can override. Okay, those updated styles and tones are rolling out today. Ability to fine-tune specific characteristics are starting to roll out gradually later this week as an experiment with a limited number of users. Okay. Additionally, the updated models are better at adhering to custom instructions, giving you more precise control over tone and behavior. Okay. So that's good. So this was released earlier, let's see here, November 12th. So that was 6 days ago. So about a week ago. So it sounds like they probably have started to already roll out those customizations to a select number of people. So that is really, really cool. I think that's going to wrap up our piece here on GPT 5.1. So let's move on to our next article, get a step closer to Gemini 3, which is the big release today. So let's move on to our next one here. So OpenAI also announced on November 13th that they are piloting group chats in ChatGPT. So it looks like now you'll be able to share these chats with other people. That is really neat. I could see that being really useful, especially in like workplace settings. So, okay, they're going to pilot a new experience with it. Same conversation, group chats, you can bring friends, family, coworkers, shared space to plan, make decisions, whether you're organizing a group. Okay. Rolling out to mobile and web for logged in ChatGPT users on all plans in Japan, New Zealand, North Korea, and Taiwan. So it almost sounds like they're not rolling it out to the US. That's kind of interesting. So group chats make it possible to bring people into the same conversation in ChatGPT in the conversation. More hands-on projects. Okay. Let's see here. Group chats make collaboration easier. How it works. You start a chat. Okay. Tap the people. Creates a copy of your conversation as a new group chat. So your original conversation stays separate. You can invite others. And let's see here. When you join the first group chat, you'll be asked for a short profile. Okay. So this is kind of what it looks like. So you've got that stuff. Then you add your people here. You got your group chats. And then you can chat around it. That's very interesting. So other users can join in. Responses are powered by this. Responding to free pro plan, search image. Okay. Let's see here. When ChatGPT, okay, rate limits only apply when ChatGPT responds not to messages between users in the group chat and responses. And responses from ChatGPT count towards the limit of the person GPT is responding to. Okay, so that's interesting. So there's new social behaviors for these group chats from ChatGPT. It follows the flow of conversation. You can always mention ChatGPT in a message when you want it to respond. Yeah, that was the key. I was trying to figure out, okay, well, I mean, is it going to respond to every single message that you post in there? That could be a real pain. So that seems really useful. Let's see here. Given ChatGPT the ability to react to messages with emojis, reference profile photos, so it can use the group members' photos when asked to create fun, personalized things like images. Okay, that's cool. So they've got built-in privacy and control. All right, that sounds really useful, especially for teams. I think this is going to be a big win for like business users, especially that have small teams, or I mean sub-teams too. Like the ability to share the stuff that you're working on, and then be able to get like group like feedback from your group. Be able to ask like specific questions. I could see like there have been a lot of scenarios where, you know, I've been in like a business call with somebody, and then we're like trying to figure something out. And so I'm like, okay, hold on, let me go ask ChatGPT this, or let me go see, you know, what Copilot says or whatever. And I have to like go to a separate thing, open up a brand new window, and then I've got to like ask my question, and then I've got to like separately share it. And each time I want to like share an update, I've got to share that. And it really becomes a bit of a pain. It's like some of these cases you have to like copy paste. So to be able to like do the chat in line is really, really powerful. And I think it'll speed up the conversation for a lot of people. So I like this. This is really neat. I wish, I mean, cause it sounds like they're not rolling out to the US right away. Or maybe I'm misunderstanding something here, but that's what it sounds like. They're starting in Japan, New Zealand, South Korea, and Taiwan. So I'm curious about this. When is that coming to the US? Because I'd like to see that kind of thing. Okay, y'all, let's pause for a second here. And I want to take a look at the chat to see if we've got any questions. I want to also check our live Q&A form here to see if we've got any new questions as well, or comments. You know, whether it's a simple question or it's a complex question about your business, something you're dealing with, something that you're kind of interested in from the topics that we are covering. I want to answer those. So let me take a look here at our chat. Okay, so I'm not seeing anything here in our chats, and I'm not seeing anything in our form questions. So we are going to go ahead and move on to our next topic. Before we do, I just want to remind you guys that we are also still doing this giveaway this evening of Alex Hormozi's newer book, $100 Million Money Models. We are giving away up to 9 copies this evening. This book is all about learning how to structure your offers in such a way as to provide the most value for your clients, how to do upsells, downsells, how to tie in your lead magnets, all of these things. And it's really, really handy if you want to learn more about business and implement these things to make your business more profitable and to provide more value for your clients and customers. So we are giving away up to 9 copies tonight. You still have to pay for shipping. It's like $5 for shipping. I don't get a dime of this. You get $30 off the book. You just pay for the shipping. It goes straight to your house from Alex Hormozi's team directly. So if that's something you want, go to the link that I have shared in YouTube and Facebook. Click that link, fill out the form, and you will be entered for the giveaway. Honestly, we don't have 100 people here. So you are going to probably win a copy if you sign up. So go ahead and do that now if that is something that is interesting to you, if you would find that valuable. If I have no copies to give away tonight, if nobody signs up, then I'm going to give away 10 copies next week. So we're going to up the ante. Every week we add a book to give away. So I would love to give that to somebody who really needs it. If you know a friend who could use it, you can also sign up for your friend or bring your friend to the live stream and have them fill out a copy fill out the form as well. Okay, let's get back to our topics. All right, so let's move on to our next announcement here. This is kind of the last one before we start getting into the Gemini 3 stuff. So this is an announcement from Anthropic. They say that Claude is now available in Microsoft Foundry and Microsoft 365 Copilot. This is super interesting, guys. Right now, I am in the process of joining a company as a CTO. I'm basically operating as a CTO right now, and we are spinning up a suite inside of Microsoft. And so this is really, really nice from the perspective of having more options. So let's see what they say here. So today we announced that Microsoft and Anthropic are expanding their partnership. As a part of their partnership, Claude Sonnet 4.5, Haiku 4.5, Opus 4.1 are now available in public preview in Microsoft Foundry, where Azure customers can build production applications and enterprise agents. That is huge. That is huge because, so for anybody who doesn't know much about like Anthropic and Claude, they're another one out there, you know, that is a competitor with OpenAI's ChatGPT. But Anthropic's models are very, very focused on like coding and developers, and their stuff is fantastic. Like I have been using their terminal, their command line coding agents for the last month now, and it drastically speeds up my time to delivery on projects, like coding projects. You can do all sorts of crazy things with these. Like these are basically like virtual software engineering employees. And I think for some folks, maybe non-technical, it can be great for prototyping. I probably would be careful not to deploy it as a production thing, unless you kind of know what you're doing, because you could really shoot yourself in the foot. But for somebody like me, who's got a programming background, these are super powerful. They just expedite. They take my time and they just maximize the amount of efficiency I get out of my time with these things. So I'm excited about the Claude stuff. This sounds really cool because Azure is a platform. It's like a cloud computing platform. Google's got one. You may have heard of like Amazon Web Services. So it sounds like this is where Azure customers, this Microsoft Foundry is where Azure customers can build production applications and enterprise agents. So we're talking about like AI agents, like AI employees. So this enables companies to build with Claude, the world's best models for coding, agents, and office tasks while using existing Microsoft ecosystem. And that's super interesting because I've been seeing, more and more stuff where like Claude is integrating with like Microsoft Excel and things like that. So this is really powerful. This means that you're almost talking about really having like an AI employee that you can run in the cloud and you can communicate with. So developers can also use Claude models in Microsoft Foundry with Claude Code, our AI coding agent. So Claude Code is that thing I was talking to you about that I use in the terminal. So that is super interesting. Let's see down here what else they say. In addition to existing integrations with the Microsoft 360 Copilot, where Claude powers the researcher agent for more complex multi-step research and also enables custom agent development in Copilot Studio. Ooh, I'm going to have to really dig into this. Okay, Microsoft's agent mode in Excel now includes an option to use Claude in preview and to build and edit spreadsheets directly in Excel. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful. Okay. So many people use Excel. I mean, how many times have you used Excel and you just thought, for more complex stuff that you're trying to do, just thought, I just wish somebody else would do this for me. Like, we're talking about AI directly in these Excel spreadsheets, being able to understand what it is you're trying to accomplish and then going in and implementing all those things in your spreadsheets for you. So you can use it to generate formulas, analyze data, identify errors. That's big. That's super important. Not sure if you wrote the formula right? Ask the AI. And iterate on solutions within an Excel spreadsheet. For enterprises already invested in Microsoft Foundry, Microsoft 365 Copilot, adopting these AI capabilities often means navigating separate vendor contracts, billing systems, adding lots of overhead. Okay, that removes the barriers. So build with Claude and Microsoft Foundry. Okay, it's available via serverless deployment, allowing developers to scale while Anthropic manages the infrastructure. Very nice. Okay, deploy it through the APIs. Okay, eligible for, build in your preferred language. So I think I might be a little bit confused here because it almost this sounds like very developer centric, but at the same time, the stuff about the Excel spreadsheets almost sounds like consumer centric, like any kind of business user can use that. So, okay, it says use the right model for your case. Okay, and then that's kind of the gist of it. So maybe this is mostly a developer focused thing. So this would be an interesting thing to kind of go investigate. Maybe we do a follow-up on this and kind of see, if I think that some of this stuff can be used directly like by business owners and investors, maybe we do a separate covering of this particular topic. Because what I like to do in these sessions is I really want to get to the point where I am providing you guys actionable value. It's cool to cover these topics, and it's helpful to kind of know what's coming down the pipe. But you need to be able to take this stuff and actually use it. You don't need a tech guy who just getting all excited about all the cool things, right? Like that's not useful to you for getting back your time and growing. So I want to make these things actionable to you. So I'll have to investigate this further to see if this is just a developer-centric thing, or are we talking about, like, at least for now, or are we talking about something that you can really use today in your business and your investing, whatever it is that you're doing. Okay, let me pause here. Let me see if we got any comments here in our chat, any kind of new questions in our or in our form submission. All right, I'm not seeing any questions here in our chat. If you guys have questions, please make sure that you ask those. Let me know if there's there's anything that you want to know more about any of the things that we've covered so far. Okay. So, let me see here. Oh man, I'm going to check something here because it almost seems like our Facebook, for some reason, Facebook ended, and I'm not sure why. That stinks. Give me a second here, guys, because we gotta fix this. This isn't good. I'm not sure why Facebook ended our live video here. Bear with me, and then we're gonna get to our Gemini 3. Okay, let's see here. So what is going on with Facebook? In the meantime, I want to just remind you guys that if you are interested in getting a copy of Alex Hormozi's book, $100 Million Money Models, this evening, then you need to go ahead and fill out that form before the end of the live stream, because what we are going to do is we are going, let me see if I can edit this thing on Facebook. We're going to be giving away a copy, or not, up to 9 copies, and oh yeah, Facebook's all messed up. I'm not really sure what's going on here. But we're going to be giving away copies of Alex's book, $100 Million Money Models. And all you have to do is pay for the shipping. And you're not paying me. Like, I'm not getting any kind of kickback from that. You are literally just paying Alex's company to ship the book. $30 of the book is completely covered. So it just is the shipping for that. So if that's something that you want to learn more about for your business, you want to learn more about business in general, whatever it is, you should definitely fill out that form, and then you are going to very likely win a copy, because we definitely don't have a ton of people here tonight that would fill up all those slots. So I would say it's basically guaranteed at this point. Let me see if I can adjust. We're going to remove our, okay, 6 p.m. Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have to mess with Facebook later, because something is wonky, and I don't have time for that. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to take our link here in YouTube, and I'm just going to share it over on Facebook. And then if folks there see that, then they can jump in. So we'll do that there. I'll add it as a comment. So we'll say Facebook cut off our live stream for some reason. If you want to join in for the rest, join us over on YouTube. And then we got a link. Okay. So we'll post that there. 2 posts, share to groups. Boom, boom. Post. Okay. So that should do it. That should be good. Okay. Now we got to get back to the main thing, y'all. All right, let's do it. So we're going to hit our last topic for the evening. This one's going to be the big one. This is the Gemini 3 announcement that Google made. So everybody's freaking out about this, and I am curious as to why. I've just seen like a little glance of things here and there. So this is my chance to learn along with you guys. And if you haven't learned just yet by watching this is my chance to be able to also, while I get to share things with you guys, while I get to answer your questions, I get to learn along with you too. So this is a win all the way around for me and for you guys. So we're going to learn about this together. So Google, a new era of intelligence with Gemini 3. Okay, it's their most intelligent model that helps bring any idea to life. Interesting. So a note from Google, okay, nearly 2 decades ago, it kicked off the, Gemini built to last, enabling you to do more. Gemini's 1, breakthroughs in native multimodality, which just means that it can do more than just text. It can do images, videos, stuff like that. Long context window have expanded. And that's true. Like they can do, I think they may actually have the biggest context window out of some of the major players. Last time I looked, I think they said they could do 1 million tokens, which is massive. That's a lot of information. It still struggles with knowing what's kind of in the middle, but that's a big deal. So they say, okay, Gemini 2 laid the foundation for agentic capabilities, push frontiers on reasoning and thinking, leading to 2.5 Pro. Okay. Now we're introducing Gemini 3, most intelligent, state-of-the-art in reasoning, can grasp depth, nuance. Let's see, much better at figuring out context. Okay, without as much prompting. It's amazing to think in 2 years AI has evolved. Okay, starting today, we're shipping it at scale out of Google. It includes AI mode in search. So this is a big one, and I've got that pulled up as well. So it sounds like their typical search product is going to have Gemini 3 with more complex reasoning, new dynamic experiences. Okay, they're shipping to search on day 1. It's coming to the Gemini app. Okay, in the AI Studio, Vertex AI, agentic development. Okay, and Google anti-gravity, more below. Okay. Let's see, advancing state-of-the-art. They're excited. All right, cool. So their most intelligent model. Let's see here. Best model for in the world for multimodal understanding. That means, again, that's text, video, audio, images, everything. So it can do more than just text. So powerful agentic vibe coding model. Oh, gosh. So they're bragging about their coding. Okay, this is interesting. Releasing the Pro in preview, making it available across a suite of products. Okay, including Deep Think or Enhanced Reasoning mode. Oh, so they're adding a Deep Think mode. Giving access to safety testers. Okay, let's see here. It can bring any idea to life in its state-of-art reasoning, multimodal capabilities. It's better than 2.5. They've got they're saying that it's topping the leaderboard, demonstrating PhD level reasoning with top scores on humanity's last exam, 37% without the usage of any tools. Okay, that's pretty cool. Let's see here. Beyond text, it redefines multimodal reasoning. Okay. Let's kind of take a look at our numbers here. So here's our Gemini 3 Pro compared to Sonnet 4.5 and 5.1. Okay, 37. Wow, it's killing it. Interesting. I wonder, like, what I think it's Opus, how that compares, but 31% on the visual reasoning puzzles. So this was academic reasoning, visual reasoning puzzles. Scientific knowledge, it's up there at 91%, almost 92. Mathematics, with code execution, it's 100%. Claude Sonnet is also 100%, but it's 95 without. That's interesting. 23% on math contest problems. Multimodal understanding is 81%. Gosh, y'all. it's just crushing. Okay, the OCR. So OCR is like being able to take text, like a picture with text in it, and then being able to read the text out of that. So that's what OCR is. So it's lagging behind a little bit on that. Let's see. Okay, screen understanding. Oh, that's big. So 72%. Now this is really big, guys, for if you're doing anything. I just want you to imagine for a second, whether you're a developer or whether you're a general investor, business owner, employee, whatever. We are looking at a future where you are going to be able to run AI on your device, or maybe even in the cloud, right? And it is going to be able to see your screen and see everything you're looking at. And you'll be able to take your mouse and you'll be able to say, hey, this thing here, this is wrong. And I need you to, or hey, see this? I need you to explain this. Or this needs to be better. And it's going to be able to see what you're pointing to. And then it's going to be able to correct those things or explain those things to you or make those things better. That is what we're looking at. So that screen understanding is really, really important. It is super important. You know, one of the things that I've been playing with more recently was like using an MCP tool, particularly for Chrome. Like Chrome has Google Chrome released their own tool so that way you could directly interact with their browser and have your AI take certain actions. Well, for that to work, it's got to take screenshots of the browser to do things intelligently. So this is going to do, sounds like it's going to do much better than even Claude, because I'm using Claude right now for the reasoning on that. So if this is right, it probably is going to it's probably going to blow Claude out of the water. Okay, information synthesis from complex charts, 81%. Okay, video, multimodal. Okay, 87. So it's good there. Let's see here, competitive coding problems. Okay, yeah, it's up there. It's past GPT-5. Agentic terminal coding. So basically, what I'm doing with Claude Code, it's doing better as a model. Okay. Let's see here. So it's not doing quite as well as on the software engineering portion as Claude, but I mean, it's like right there with GPT-5 and Claude. Agentic tool use, that's important. It's a little better than Claude, supposedly, for being able to call tools. So this is important if you want your AI to do things. Okay. Long horizon agentic task, net worth mean is higher. Okay, vending bench. I think this is like a simulated, like you're trying to make money or something. I'm curious about that. 70% on internal grounding parameters. Okay. Parametric knowledge, multimodal Q&A, 91%. Common sense reasoning, long context before. Oh, that's important. So for 128,000 tokens, it's at 77%. The other highest one is from OpenAI's at 61%. And then for 1 million, we're at 26%. And the previous one, so Gemini 2.5 is doing 16. So, I mean, they went a whole 10% up on that. And there's the other models, they don't support a million tokens. So that is encouraging, because that means as we start going up, that's gonna, in terms of the context, it's going to be able to handle a lot more and give you more reasonable information. So think like you could funnel books, multiple books into, context windows and then ask questions, or long videos or things like that. So that's why having long context and solving that problem is super important. So Okay, Gemini Pro 3 Pro, new level of depth and nuance to every interaction. Its responses are smart, concise. Okay, telling you what you need to hear, not just what you want to hear. That's good. It acts as a true thought partner. Okay, deep think mode pushes boundaries of intelligence further. It outperforms Pro's already impressive performance on humanity's last exam. Okay, so we're over here with the deep think mode on Gemini 3. This was 2.5. This is just Gemini 3. Then we've got ChatGPT, the GPT-5 at 30%. This is 41 at the deep think. Then the the Gemini Pro, just the non-thinking model, is 37 versus 30. And then I think that says 5.1. Let me zoom in on that. Let's see if we can make that a little bigger. Yeah, so this one's 5.1 versus 5 Pro. Okay, this diamond test, it's above this ArcGIS. Okay, 45. Interesting. Okay, so maybe that's a little easier for you guys to see the text too. Okay, built from start to synthesize information about any topic across multiple modalities. Okay, pushes frontier model reasoning, vision, spatial, 1 million context window. The context window thing, it is important, but I mean, still, it's only currently 26%, so you might run into some problems. Okay, if you want to learn how to cook in your family tradition, it can translate handwritten recipes in different languages into a shareable family cookbook. That's super useful. That is super cool. I could see myself like writing, because I write in cursive. So you look at my handwriting, and if you don't know cursive, you'd be very confused. So I would be very curious to test out my handwriting to see if it can understand what I'm saying and then to translate it accurately. That would be really handy, because then I could just take my notes and I can write my notes on the fly, and then I can share it. I might have to test that. Okay, new topic. It can give you you can give it academic papers, long video lectures, tutorials. It can generate code with interactive flashcards, visualizations. It can even analyze videos of your pickleball match. Identify areas where you can improve. Okay, interesting. Better sense of information on the web. AI mode in search is now using Gemini 3 for generative UI experiences. Okay. So this is, I guess, a Google. Is this the search interface? Interesting. Wow, so it like built that thing on the fly. Wow. That's cool. That's showing like DNA sequencing and interaction. Wow. Or specifically like RNA polymerase. Okay, build anything. Delivers on promise. Okay, idea to life for developers. Zero shot generation. That means like you go ask it for a thing and it does it right away. Handles complex prompts, instructions. Okay, best vibe coding and agentic coding model we've ever built. That's a bold claim, and I mean, it's probably true that they've ever built, but it almost sounds like it might be killing some of the other stuff. You can now build with Gemini 3 and Google AI Studio. Okay, Gemini CLI. I'm gonna have to try that. Let's see here. Introducing a new agent-first development experience. We have the opportunity to reimagine the entire developer experience. Okay, Google Anti-Gravity is our new agentic development platform that enables developers to operate at a higher task-oriented level. Using its advanced reasoning tool, use agentic Oh, Google's listening from my phone. So, okay. Let's see here. Tool use agentic capabilities. It transforms AI assistance from a tool in a developer's toolkit into an active partner. That's fantastic. Okay. Anti-gravity is a familiar AI ID experience. Its agents have been elevated to a dedicated surface, giving direct access to the editor, terminal, and browser. The agents can autonomously plan, execute complex end-to-end software tasks simultaneously on your behalf while validating their own code. Wow. Okay. That's crazy. So it also comes with their computer use model for browser control and our top-rated image editing model, Nano Banana. That is great. Let's look at this thing. Let's see. Let me pause our audio here. We're going to watch this thing. If it may not have audio.
I'm going to use anti-gravity to build a flight tracking app, give it a flight number, return some data. After prompting, the agent goes out, does some research, and puts together an implementation plan. I like how this looks, so the agent's going to go out and now implement its work. After it's done with the implementation, it'll actually open up the Chrome browser and use the browser itself to test that it works. As it does the work, it takes screenshots that I can leave comments on. Just a few improvements here, and I actually want to do a little bit of design exploration. The agent will take that feedback, and in this case, use Nano Banana to actually generate some options of what this output could look like. This one looks pretty clean. So I'm going to go tell the agent to use this one as part of its output. The agent will once again go out, take that feedback, implement the work, and test using the browser. The output looks a lot better. At the end, the agent will put together a walkthrough. Think of it like a report, which shows all of its work, including a browser recording of the final output, to prove to the user that it's done its work.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's incredible. Okay, I'm going to be playing with this. Okay, plan anything. Let's see. We've made a lot of progress, advancing their capabilities, improving its ability to reliably plan over long horizons. Okay. Demonstrates this by topping the leaderboard on Vending Bench, which tests longer horizon planning by managing simulated vending machine business. It maintains consistent tool usage decision making for a full simulated year of operation. Wow. Okay. So it's way up here at above 5K. Over 300 over a year's time, simulated, I guess. Interesting. Can help you better help with things in your everyday life. Okay. Can take action on your behalf for complex multi-step workflows, booking, local services, organizing your inbox, all while under your control and guidance. AI Ultra subscribers can use these capabilities in the Gemini app with Gemini Agent today. Okay, building responsibly. It's our most secure model yet. Undergone most, comprehensive. Blah, blah, blah. Next era. It's rolling out for everyone in the Gemini app for Google AI Pro, Ultra subscribers, and AI mode for developers, Gemini API, and for enterprises in Vertex AI and Gemini Enterprise. We're taking extra time for the deep think mode. Okay. Plan to release additional models to Gemini 3 series soon. Okay. Wow. Okay, I can see why everybody's freaking out about this. This is a big deal. Super, super big deal. Let me see if we got any questions, comments, anything like that in our chat here. What do you guys think? Isn't that wild? That's just crazy to me. Man, just a few years, I never would have, I'm just more and more blown away by how incredibly good this stuff is and how fast it's getting so good. Wow. So for creative people, I would say if you're not learning how to use AI, start learning how to use AI. And listen, if you can be creative, you're going to thrive. If you can come up with solutions creatively for this stuff, even if you don't know how to implement it yourself, if you can come up with ideas and maybe find somebody to help you with these things, you're going to be far ahead. You're going to be far ahead of everyone. So I would jump on this. I'm going to be jumping on this and digging into some of this stuff, learning about some of these tools myself. I'm going to have to get my game on because this is big. So let's take a quick look at some of these other things around Gemini 3 that they announced. So they announced that brings upgraded smarts and capabilities to the Gemini app. Okay, unveiling a major update to the Gemini app, our most intelligent model, generative interfaces. So new type of interface that adapts to your needs. Okay. Okay, powerhouse. Okay, so the entire experience has gotten smarter. It's the best vibe. Cool. Okay, apps you can build in Canvas. So they have a Canvas feature where you could build apps that are more full featured. So that's a way for you to like tinker with things, especially. It'll be good for like little personal things that you want to run. It won't be good for like full-on production things that you want. That's not what the Canvas is for. So best model in the world. Okay, we already kind of know some of this stuff. Generative interfaces. So this is kind of the Gemini app is kind of like the ChatGPT app. So okay, so it has some nicer interfaces that it can create on the fly. Nice. Nice. Okay. So it's kind of showing off. Help me plan a 3-day trip. Cool. Let's see here. Multi-step tasks handled. Okay, so their Gemini agent mode is an experimental feature. Can handle multiple step tasks directly inside of Gemini. Okay, so that's going to be really helpful. So this is built on insights from Project Mariner. Let's see what that was. This was announced. I don't know when this was announced, but I remember seeing this name previously. Okay, so that's good. They took some feedback and they improved some things. They're kind of showing this multiple steps. Interesting. Wow, okay, that's cool. It's like a pre-generated email. You just review, hit send reply, boom. Wow. That's cool. Okay. So that's one thing. That's in the Gemini app. Let's see here. More conversations, natural conversations with Gemini. Okay. So let's see what they say here. Rise and fall of our voices, rhythm of our sentences. We announced new model updates coming to Gemini Live that dynamically improve its ability to understand key elements of human speech. Let's see here. More adaptive and expressive conversations. Okay. New ways to learn and practice skills on Android and iOS. So tailor your learning. Okay. Like they give an example of you taking a business analytics class. You can say, explain the topic, say, okay, speed up, get a crash course on the way to your next class. Feature also increases accessibility. Okay, cool. Let's see this. I want to kind of hear what's going on there. Let me pause our music again.
Hi Gemini, can you remind me what a VRIO framework is? Sure, a VRIO framework is a tool used to analyze.
My class is about to start. Can you speed up?
Yes, so this assesses if a resource is valuable, rare, inimitable, and organized.
Cool. Thanks.
Okay, interesting. Immerse yourself in a new language. So learning a new language is beyond memorizing vocabulary. This is great. This is actually a really good use case for these new voice-powered AIs. Learning other languages. Things like Duolingo are a thing of the past, in my opinion, because you can actually like have it create a plan for you to learn a language, and then you actually speak with the thing. And that's how you learn, is by speaking and by listening. Let's see.
Hi, Gemini. Is there any fish on this menu?
Yes, there's a sea bass.
Yum, I love sea bass. Can you help me order that in Spanish?
Of course. Try me gustaría la lubina, por favor.
How's this? Me gustaría la lubina, por favor.
That sounds great.
Okay, interesting. Practice your next big moment. Okay. Whether you're rehearsing a job interview. Okay. Hear stories come to life. Okay. So story time, basically. Liven things up with a fun accent. Sometimes you want to have a little fun. Ask it to speak in a fun accent.
Hi, Gemini. What's a good dairy-free dessert for my friend's rodeo-themed birthday party this weekend? And can you read it to me like you're a cowboy?
Yeehaw! Howdy there, partner. Sounds like you've got a shindig brewing. How about some dairy-free apple crisp? That'll tickle your fancy.
Okay, that's fun. Very interesting. These voice applications are getting a lot better. So I think for a lot of that kind of stuff, especially for the language learning, I think that's a really good use case. So let's take a look. We're coming to a close here. So Google search with Gemini 3. So let's see here. Okay, now it's our most intelligent model. Most intelligent model, write and search. So you have to turn on AI mode, and then you can choose the default or the thinking mode, and then it'll start doing its thing. So it's for AI Pro and Ultra subscribers. So it's not for everybody right out of the gate. Okay. Query fan-out technique is getting a major upgrade. You can perform more searches to uncover relevant web content because it more intelligently understands your intent. You can find new content that it may have previously missed. Okay, this is why I use currently ChatGPT for my searches, because I want it to search a lot of different sources, and I want it to get into and find the most relevant stuff based on what I'm trying to understand. So it's not just, I don't want to just like have to search for particular verbiage that I know, and then search through all the articles. I want to get all the relevant information as fast as I can so I can move forward quickly. So let's see here. Well, enhancing automatic, okay. Automatic model selection. They're going to be adding generative UI, visual layouts, interactive tools. Okay. So, okay. In AI mode, it dynamically creates visual layout for responses on the fly. That's cool. That's something that ChatGPT doesn't do right now. That can be helpful for like understanding certain concepts and things like that. Analyzes your question, creates the most helpful layout, building a custom response with visual elements, images, tables, grids. Final output isn't just informative. Well, some of that I guess is done. Clear, actionable, model to text. That an interactive tool will help you better understand the topic. It uses its generative capabilities to code a custom simulation or tool in real time. That's crazy. That's crazy cool. So we kind of saw that before. Let's look at this again. Ready? Okay. That's pretty sweet. So that is really, really nice. I think that's that's definitely a next level way to think about search and how to enhance your understanding. So this is going to be super powerful for a lot of people. Especially, I mean, just for learning. Man, that's so cool. Okay. All right, you guys, let's take a look at our last item here, and then we're going to move into our closing segment where we're going to give away a copy of Alex Hormozi's book. If you haven't done that yet, go fill out the form for the giveaway. We're going to be doing a random giveaway up to 9 copies tonight of Alex Hormozi's book. You just have to pay for the shipping. It's like $5. You get $30 off the book. I'm not making anything from it. I just hope that you get some value out of it and that you can use it to maybe grow or learn more about business. So if you haven't filled that out yet, go use this QR code, go click the link in the chat somewhere, and go fill out that form before we hit our last topic and we move into the giveaway. Because once the giveaway is over, it's over for the evening, and then we're not coming back to it until next week. All right, let's move on to our last item here for the evening. Private AI compute. So our next step in building private and helpful AI. So this is going to be really important for businesses, especially that have private data. Okay, Google has developed private enhancing technologies. Okay, they talk about their cloud stuff. AI is evolving to become helpful. That's why we built private AI compute. Full speed of Gemini cloud models to ensuring personal data stays private and is not accessible to anyone else, not even Google. Okay, so how it protects your data in the cloud. Private AI compute is in the cloud. Next step in AI processing technology, builds off industry security. Privacy safeguards. Okay, secure fortified space for processing your data that keeps your data isolated and private to you. Processes the same type of sensitive information that might be on device. Okay, within its trusted boundary, your personal information, unique insights, how you use them. Okay, one integrated tech stack for Google. So it'll be powered by your own stack of custom tensor processing units. Okay. Let's see. What else do they say? No access. Remote attestation and encryption are used to connect your device to the hardware secured sealed cloud environment, allowing the Gemini models to securely process your data within a specialized protected space. This ensures sensitive data processed by Google AI compute remains accessible to only you and no one else, not even Google. So that's interesting. That almost sounds like the data, like the models are running on encrypted data. Or maybe the way they've structured it is so that way the TPUs have direct access. Like there's a layer here where the data is decrypted and it's like directly connected to the TPUs, so that way you don't have to worry about any kind of like interception of the data between the like a public internet connection, or maybe it's just closer to each other, like hardware wise. Okay, it enables on-device features to perform with extended capabilities while retaining their privacy assurance. Okay, Magic Q is getting more helpful, more timely suggestions on the latest Pixel phones. Oh, so they're applying this to our devices, like our Pixel phones and things like that. Okay, Recorder app on Pixel is able to summarize transcription. Okay, that's cool. That's really neat. So that's actually going to be really useful for, I mean, it's just going to kind of happen under the hood for a lot of people and they won't realize they're just trying to enhance security. So I like that. Very nice, Google. That's really cool. And it sounds like that's going to be powerful for businesses too that are concerned about like compliance and things like that. So, okay, you guys. Oh, and I'm sorry, I wasn't sharing the screen for that, but there wasn't really anything to see. I'm just kind of reading it off. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring our session to a close here. So we are going to go ahead and run our giveaway. If you have not already entered the giveaway, we are going to go ahead and just do it anyways. So if you haven't entered it, you're just going to have to wait till next week. If we don't have any takers this evening, we are going to be giving away up to 10 copies next week. So let's go ahead and run it. Please go ahead and run the giveaway. So I'm going to share my screen. You guys can see. Boom. Our AI is going to do it for us this evening. So we'll see. Okay, guys, looks like we don't have any entries for our giveaway winner this evening. So you know what that means. Next week, we're going to be giving away up to 10 copies, and I'm thinking about cutting it off at 10 copies. So if you want a copy, come next week. Bring your friends next week. I want to make sure that we get these in the hands of people who could really use them. Okay, guys. Thank you very much for being here. I want to do a last check here to see if we've got any remaining questions in our Q&A form. Any questions in our chat? I don't see any in our chat. So I think what we're going to do is wrap it up here. Typically, what I would do, I'll show my screen here, is I would say if you want to join us for future live Q&As, then what you can do is you can scan that code there to get reminders for future Q&As. We send out the like an email 24 hours beforehand, and then we send out another email 10 minutes beforehand. In this case, if you were in that email reminder list, you would have seen that email come in that said, hey, we're not doing it Monday. We're going to be doing it on Tuesday because I had to move some things around. So if that's something that you want, if you want those reminders, then I'm going to go ahead and post this here inside of our YouTube live stream chat. Give me just a second here while I swipe over and I pop that in there. So you can go ahead and click that link there. You can scan the QR code. Now, here's the other thing. I'm going to have to redo this slide because previously we had, I had this private community that I called the AI Employee Club. And this is where I offered an extended live Q&A where we went behind the scenes. We learned how to build things like the giveaway bot that I did. We did, you would have access to a live chat where you get more help from me, things like that. Any courses that I put together, I did a 1-day AI receptionist challenge that was available inside the community. And that was all included. The problem is that, unfortunately, as I was playing with these AI tools to help, as you guys could see there earlier, I had that thing go out to my form, right? And it selected a random winner. Well, I had set this thing up to also be able to share my links in the YouTube chat and in the Facebook chat, and also in the private community. And I've had some issues. Sometimes you just have to work through it and test it out live. Like tonight, I couldn't use it for some reason. So I got to figure out what's going on there. When I used it in the private community, they detected that submission as a phishing attempt. And even though it's my own community. And so unfortunately, they have locked me out of the AI Employee Club. And so I will say this to you. Right now, don't join that AI Employee Club at that link. I am reevaluating what we're going to do for the AI Employee Club. And so, if what I described to you sounds interesting, if that's something that you would like, reach out to me and let me know as I'm kind of thinking through how to reevaluate the AI Employee Club, what I make available in there, things like that. I want to kind of know who's interested. And, if it's one of those things where not a ton of people are interested in it, maybe it just goes away for a while, and maybe we don't do more in-depth stuff and get behind the scenes on things. Maybe people don't need that. So I want to use my time effectively, and I want to build things and build things that actually provide value to people. So I'm having to rethink and reevaluate if we're going to go forward with the AI Employee Club. So if those are things that you find valuable, then please let me know in the chat, reach out to me personally, whatever, and let me know. In the meantime, please don't go join that. If you pay for it, I don't know if you can go in there and pay for it right now. Please don't do that. So I still have to work through that and figure out what I'm going to do from here with that. All right, you guys, we're going to go ahead and end it here. Thank you very much for coming. It was a fantastic Tuesday evening. We got a lot of exciting stuff here. I'm going to have to go and play more with these Gemini 3 models, these tools, and see how we can take full advantage of them to help build things more quickly and things that actually are valuable for people. So I'm so excited to see all this stuff. There's a lot of opportunity here, and I think we can definitely learn from these things and we can leverage them. So I'm going to go ahead and end it here, guys. Thank you again for coming. As always, it was a pleasure to be here with you. Hope you have a good one, and take it easy.